Oh, it looks like folks are still wavering a little bit, but since you mentioned Medicaid.
Well, these are the best numbers I've seen.
Certainly, the polling has not been so kind to the unknown at this point in time.
You know, this stuff is really complicated, as you know, Louise, and so public polling, and I used to run the House Campaign Committee the last 2 cycles, so I'm familiar with polling and data. And I can ask the question a lot of different ways and get a lot of different results. In fact, the polling has shifted. It used to be if you labeled it Obamacare, it added about 10 points to the negative. But now that he's out of office, like every president that leaves, we think they were better, and they get better and better. So now if you call it the Affordable Care Act, it actually is more negative than if you call it Obamacare. And if you've seen the Jay Leno stuff right out on the street where you for the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare, and they have distinct opinions about this, and it's the same law.
Right, and I used to follow these polls very, very closely, and they certainly tracked in some ways the political support for or against the president. But it's also true then that the party that touches health care last is the party that owns it. And to some extent, people are always going to be unhappy about their health care, which means they're always going to be unhappy, presumably, with the party.
Now, I would make one argument, and that is when we passed Medicare Part D, we created a exchange. We kept all of the amendments off the bill that the Democrats wanted that would have locked everything into statute, including the premium. And as a result, the cost of drugs for seniors on Medicare Part D are 52% lower than what the Congressional Budget Office estimated they would be at this time back in 2003. Seniors have about an 85% approval rating of Medicare Part D, and they're not taking bus trips to Canada and Mexico to get their drugs. This is what we would like to get to.
Sell the new law, kind of like it's.
Yeah, well, and you can't do all that within the confines of reconciliation. So
well, it looks
I think
like
we should call the election now.
You've got a pretty good split. I mean, these are numbers you can work with unless they're numbers in the Senate.
No,
at this point, you can just about get it.
Yeah, we just need 50.